All right, so welcome back to Al's Home Kitchen Pizzeria. Today we're going to make one of my childhood favorites, garlic knots. These are very easy to make. I'll show you an easy trick how to separate them out and form them into knots. Before we get started though, let me give a shout out to my latest subscriber, Brody. Welcome to Al's Home Kitchen Pizzeria. Brody was lured in by this delicious Sicilian pizza. I highly recommend you all check out this recipe. It is the bomb. All right, so now that we've got that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. The first thing you're going to want to do before anything else is take a dough ball out of the refrigerator, or if you've just made it, that's fine. You can check out my previous recipe here that'll show you how to make this very quick and easily. We're going to let that sit out for probably about 2 hours. You'll see it start to rise pretty well, and it'll come to room temperature. So once we've got that set aside, we're going to go ahead and we're going to prepare our garlic sauce. All right, for our garlic sauce, all we're going to need is a couple of cloves of garlic, a little pinch of salt, 4 tablespoons of butter, and some red pepper flakes are optional. I like them. You don't have to put them in if you don't want to. And also some olive oil. I'll mix that with the butter. You can use all olive oil or all butter, whatever you prefer. So obviously the first thing we're going to do is we're going to chop up some garlic. Now, I do like to chop this up fairly fine because you don't want huge chunks of garlic sticking to your garlic knots, or maybe you do. If that's the case, whatever you prefer. All right, once we've got that chopped up nice and fine, we're going to go ahead and put that aside, and then we'll go ahead and get our stove turned on, and we'll start melting the butter. All right, so to make the garlic sauce, all we're going to do is we're going to add 4 tablespoons of butter to our pan. We want to put this on very low heat, especially starting out. We don't want to burn anything, so just be patient with it. Let the butter melt slowly. Again, optional, but I add some olive oil in just to add a little bit to the flavor profile, but you don't have to put it, or you could do it all with olive oil if you're trying to eat healthier. So we're going to slowly let the butter melt. I'm going to go ahead and add just a pinch of salt. Again, I'm going to add a little bit of red pepper flake, but you can leave that out if you don't like the heat. And then once that butter's starting to melt pretty good, I'm going to go ahead and add the garlic in. And again, we want to be very careful that we don't burn the garlic. It's much better to go on a lower heat and take longer, because if you burn the garlic, it's going to get very bitter and it's going to kind of ruin the whole experience for you. So we're just going to let that all melt together, probably a couple of minutes. You'll start to really smell the garlic really strong, and then you can go ahead and turn the heat off and wait for the garlic knots to come out of the oven. And this is about the time in the process when your family is going to start getting hungry, when they start smelling all this garlic, and they're going to start asking you when dinner is going to be ready. So they'll have to learn some patience as well. All right, and that's about good right there. We're going to go ahead and set that aside, and we'll wait for our garlic knots to come out of the oven. All right, so now that we've had our dough sitting out for about 2 hours, we're going to go ahead and take that out and put it onto our work surface. And then I'm going to show you a trick on how to separate this out. So this is a 15-ounce dough ball. This is the standard size that I show you in my other videos on how to make dough. So we're just going to set that down, lightly floured. You don't want to do too much. And then I'm just going to just very, very gently just kind of flatten it out a tiny bit. So now I have a perfect circle there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide that circle in half, just like that. And then I'm going to divide each of those in half. And then each of those in half one more time. Now I have 8 roughly equal pieces that I'm going to roll out into my garlic knots. So all we're going to do is take one at a time and kind of just squeeze it together like that, and start towards the middle and just kind of roll it. You might want to get rid of some of the flour so it'll stick a little better. And just as you roll, pull your fingers out a little bit, and you'll see it'll start to get elongated. And once you get it to about that size right there, all we're going to do is take one end, flip it over the other, and then you're going to take that and pull it back up inside. Doesn't need to be tight, doesn't need to be anything perfect. They're all going to look different, and they're all going to be delicious. So again, just take one end over the other, and then pull one of the ends up through the middle, and then just set it aside. All right, so now we've got all 8 of them formed up. So we're going to put these, a lot of recipes are going to tell you to put these in the oven at a lower temperature, like 400 degrees or something. We're going to go full on heat. We're going to go 525. I find that gets the outside nice and crispy without overcooking the inside. Obviously, if it's not to your liking, you can adjust the temperature if you want, but I would recommend starting at 525 first. We're going to cook these for about 8 to 10 minutes. You do want to preheat your oven before this. I recommend cooking them on a stone, or if you really want to go all out, you can get one of these pizza screens. These are great, and that's what I'm going to use today. A pizza stone or a pizza steel will work well also, or you could put them on some parchment paper on a regular cookie sheet. But we're going to go ahead and throw them in like this for now, and it's going to be roughly 8 to 10 minutes. When the outside is completely browned up and nice and crispy, you'll know they're ready. All right, so we're at 10 minutes. The oven is done. We're going to go ahead and get them out and get them dressed up. All right, so there we go. All right, you can see they're all golden brown, nice and hot. We're going to go ahead and throw them in the bowl. Be careful, they are, like I said, very hot. And then we're going to take the garlic sauce that we made earlier, and we're going to pour that right over the top of it. So we've got that in there. We're going to go ahead and mix them up a little bit. Honestly, what's probably easier is if you can get a nice secure cover on them. It wants to work. You do want to make sure this is tight, or you will make a mess. And then you can just shake them around. So now we're going to go ahead and dress them up. We've got a little bit of grated Parmesan cheese. Go ahead and pour that in there. A little bit of parsley just for some color. And because I like the heat, we're going to go with some more red pepper flakes. So if you like what we saw today, be sure to hit like and subscribe. And we'll see you later on Al's Home Kitchen Pizzeria. Thank you.